All right. Howdy, what's going on? All right. It's video time once more. I've learned I gotta stop doing these at night, because if I do wait, I forget, and then I'm like scrambling to throw something together at like what is currently 9:10 p.m. So, um, but yeah. I do have something to talk about tonight, which is cool. I'm not like scrambling, I guess, to come up with an actual topic. I do have something to work with, and that would be journaling. So this is like, dang. Okay, just throw it. All right, whatever. So I did like I've kept a journal a lot in the past. In fact, I probably started journaling around 8, around then, because I read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and I was like, I want to do that. I still have my old journal somewhere in there from when I was very young. It's funny, I've lost a lot of those journals, but I still have my very first one. Maybe I'll show that off at some time. But regardless, something I've done on and off throughout my whole life. And I picked it up. I picked it back up pretty consistently around 2023, like late 2023, when Apple released a journal app for iPhone. Um, and that did actually get me back in it for a while, and it was pretty nice. However, I did start to not enjoy the experience of typing all that on the phone. Like, part of me kind of liked it. I don't know. Part of me didn't. And I often would want to like handwrite stuff and I was like, we have an iPad. I'm filming this on an iPad right now. I have an Apple Pencil. I have all that. I can handwrite it that way. Like you can't handwrite notes on this thing. Um, but no, Tim Cook said no. Um, and so eventually I started wanting to swap over to something much more offline. It's as offline as you can get. Um, and I wanted to do something that felt a lot more personal. Because something I noticed about the Apple journaling app um, was that it felt like it wanted me to write about stuff I didn't actually care about. Like you could set up to send you like suggestions about stuff to journal about, and it was like, "Oh, where'd you go today? Oh, I see you went to the mall. You should write about that." And I don't know. I didn't really like the idea that it was pushing me in a direction on what to actually write about. Um, Not to say necessarily that's a bad thing, but just didn't align with my preferences. Wasn't even really like a privacy concern. I mean, there was part of it where it's like, hey, do I want to throw like all that on some company's server? Like, I know it's like I have encryption set up. Like I know it's about as safe as it can get. It's just like the idea of, oh, let's send my like most personal thoughts to live on random servers, who knows where. So yeah, I say eventually, a few weeks ago, I went out and I bought a lot of paper, and that's what I think my second video on this channel was about. Third video on this channel was about. Um, but yeah, so I want to talk a little bit more about like I don't know what's been cool about this. So I've been since getting this journal, I've wanted to specifically like journal every day, and I've not been totally consistent on that, but I've been fairly consistent. Um, and I think it's been a pretty good experience. I've definitely found that the actual act of handwriting it, I've used this single pen the entire time, for like almost all of my handwriting since then, and it is almost out. I don't know if I'll buy more of these. I might try to look into a more eco-friendly solution. I found you could recycle these at like Staples. I don't know, whatever. I digress. But yeah, so I found like the actual act of handwriting it leads to a lot more of like an intimate experience, because it is just you with this paper. It's like I don't know if that's really something that would like be valuable to most people because that's a fairly like abstract kind of artsy whatever kind of idea. But yeah, I feel a lot more like connected to what I'm writing. And like I can remember a lot more of what I'm actually writing and processing on here compared to the stuff I typed out on my phone. So it's been a cool benefit. I also, I think there's something a lot more personal. And when I say personal, I don't even mean like, it's more just like, oh, like this is a lot more expressive, like, oh, I went out and I bought a blue journal. That says something about me. And I will probably put some stickers on it maybe, at some point. I think that'd be kind of cool. I think I have some old sticker sheets lying around that I didn't fully use up, so I might deck this thing out in stickers. And like even just that, like, oh, I bought a blue journal and I put this Porter Robinson sticker on it, and I got, this Deltarune fan gamer sticker, whatever. Um, and so yeah, I think age something like that, and I think it's a broader appeal to like physical stuff in general. Is that it definitely can like reflect the person a lot more. I mean, it's very dark, but like I got all kinds of trinkets and whatnot up there. We got Madden 08 because I've watched too much YouTube. We got Mr. Rossetti. You can't see him. I don't know. We're gonna do this right. Whatever, Celeste poster. But it's just like, oh, these little goodies. We've got Shiver Splatoon. You can't really see her great because she's angsty. We got these little Sailor Moon cans. We got a rat. We got another rat. We have a third rat. We have a weird, I don't know, I don't even know what you can see. It's kind of, I don't know. I actually don't know what you can see because that's the way I'm filming this with like my selfie cam, and I'm just like holding it to it. I can't really see well. We got a Game Boy. We got all this kind of whatever. Not to do a room tour, but just the idea of, oh hey, I have these like physical trinkets, and I have these physical things, and they like reflect me as a person versus throwing everything on like the cloud or whatever. I think that also can like apply to music too, where it's like, oh, you have this stuff in your room with you, and you see it. I see my vinyl on a shelf. I see my games on a shelf and whatever. Maybe kind of getting a little off the point here, but that's me too. So we're like this, just like I will look at this in a year or two and whatever, and I'll be like, oh yeah, this takes me back to specifically 2025, like middle 2025. I will have a book that is nothing but a representation of my life at this time. And I don't know. I don't think that's something your phone can really give you. I'm not knocking that because it worked for me at the time, and I'm sure there's plenty of people who do prefer to journal digitally. But yeah, I've enjoyed writing physically, like on a piece of paper. It's kind of interesting. I feel like a musician starting a song out on piano, especially when I'm like writing not journaling things. But I mean, that's essentially, I think, what it is in a lot of ways. Journaling, for a writer at least, is very much so just like a sitting down and a practicing. It's just like, doing little like doing little drills on piano or whatever, or like practicing a song, or even just like getting ideas out, whatever. I don't know. I think it's cool, and I've talked about it a little bit before, but I just wanted to, I guess, specifically talk about the reasons why I've enjoyed this journal. I don't know if I'm gonna buy this brand again. This is like Moleskine, and I do like it. It's a very, I think, high quality book, which makes sense. It cost me like $20. But it does bug me that on the end and the beginning and end of of the book, it's got this like freaking whatever page of like, oh, we here at Moleskine believe in making paper for the people, and it's got a bunch of like QR codes and crap, and it's like, I don't want that. Like, I bought this. I would be so much more likely to buy from them again if they did not shove that in my journal, because I don't want marketing in my journal. It's a little dystopian for my taste, so I guess it's the one complaint, but I'll shop around. I was initially going to buy a different brand anyway, but I couldn't get it on time. I was going to buy some like Japanese journal brand. That's like calendar, I guess, specific, where it's like, oh, you write a day. So it's like, oh, you have a single page for a day and you fill it up. Well, yeah, you just single page, what you have to say for the day, and that's it. Fun fact was I want to see these were made by like the by like Shikasatu Itoi, the creator of the Earthbound series. That's not why I was gonna buy them. I just learned that after the fact. But either way, I didn't buy them because the time I think the calendar in the books didn't really line up. And this is probably a little, I don't know, a little rambly, a little irrelevant to throw at the end of the video. But anyway, so yeah, there we go. I need to start making these shorter. These are all pretty consistently, every video I've filmed for the past month has been longer than I wanted. But this one's not terribly long, so I think I'll cut it off here. See you tomorrow.